Excuse me. All right. Almost ready to go here. Apologies for the late start. We had some issues going on with the monitors. Had to get our production department to help out on that. And thank you very much, Mr. Keaton Franklin. Excuse me for getting that help on there. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. It is Tuesday evening. It was a beautiful day. It actually was on the chilly side, fairly dry overall, and not seeing anything tonight. That's the important thing. I want to make certain that everybody understands that as of right now, this is not a major situation in the way of problems immediately. But as we get into the course of the next couple of days, that is where we may see the potential of some more problems heading our direction. What we're talking about is a new winter storm bearing down on the area, and we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Currently, again, it's quiet, it's dry, and should remain that way. This is Weather Overtime. If you've never been here before, we're live and direct from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm the Chief Meteorologist here on Broad Street, just south of the downtown area between downtown Chattanooga and Lookout Mountain. This is where we take a look at what's going on where the weather is concerned. We give you an idea as to what's happening. We try to give you as much details as possible because on a regular weathercast, we only get about maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes of anything involving what's going on with the weather. That's what we help you try to learn a little bit more about what is going on. So if you're brand new here, if you live around the Chattanooga area, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama, South Tennessee, especially Southeastern Tennessee, or Western North Carolina, that's the area we cover. So if you'd like to know more or have a question about the forecast or what we're going to be experiencing, that's great. Go ahead and pop it into the comments section. We are live on YouTube and also again on Twitch. So if you have any questions, we are live and direct and would love to know more about what it is that you're experiencing with weather out there. So drop a comment, say hello, stick around for some more weather information. We'll give you updates here as we go along. Currently, again, it's quiet. It's chilly across the downtown area. Old Glory, half-staff, again, due to President Carter's passing, and then also, again, seeing waving proudly in a very stiff northerly breeze. It's a little bit less breezy than what it was not too long ago, but we do have, again, some wind chills out there. It's 27 at the Chattanooga airport. It feels like it is 20 degrees, so we've got some very chilly numbers already for this evening and going to be just as cold as we go into tomorrow morning. So that, again, could be a very big situation for getting out and about in the morning hours. Again, currently across much of the area, we're back in the high 20s to about the lower 30s, and that's about as warm as it gets for right now. 23 in Murphy, North Carolina, also in Altamont, Tennessee. 25 Henniger in northeastern Alabama, and back to about the mid to upper 20s to lower 30s across northwestern parts of Georgia for this evening. Now, we're watching very carefully. The reason we're on tonight, again, with especially large storm system possible as we go into the course of the next about 72 hours. We're not too far away from this storm system moving on through. Right now, it's quiet. These clouds have stuck around throughout the day. Cold air sometimes sandwiches the clouds between the colder air aloft and the surface. So this has been sticking around. So as you head toward Nashville or over toward Middle Tennessee or West Tennessee, you may see some more of those clouds. Otherwise, high pressure well in control, and high pressure doing a good job of escorting in very cold air off of Hudson Bay and basically almost the North Pole. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like much, but for right now, that is our new storm system setting up over the western portions of the Gulf of Mexico. This dashed line is called a trough. It's a stretched out area of low pressure. It's about to start a little bit more of a spin, and then it's expected to curve up and along the Gulf of Mexico's northern rim. So what we're expecting to see happen at this time is this system, let me move this up a little farther so we can see that. There's that area of low pressure. It develops down to our southwest, and then over the next couple of days, it starts to make its way a little closer to us, so that by 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, that's when that moisture from that area of low pressure and high pressure that is both, again, working together to move that moisture up this way. This is where we see see, again, the moisture start to ride over the top of that very cold air and fall into that very cold air. That is where we see, again, the potential for more snow showers shaping up. I'm more worried about the potential of the borderline area down this direction. Now, this area of low pressure doesn't look to be too strong, but these areas of high and low combine to push that moisture. This could be shoveling a decent amount of moisture up our direction, so that by Friday noon, if starting off Friday pre-dawn patrol hours, probably not going to see too much. Then throughout the rest of the day, that's where the snowfall continues and more moisture coming on through. I think it's going to be a problem if school districts out there are considering the idea of getting in a couple of hours in the morning. You're going to have a very big mess on your hands when it comes to getting the kids home again later during the day. So Friday, I would be very cautious and keep an eye on what's going on when it comes to delays and cancellations. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Everything starts to kind of fizzle a little bit by Friday evening, but notice right here is where we're concerned about, to where we see into around this area here. Again, blue is mainly snow, stoplight colors, green, yellow, red is rainfall, but this area right here indicates a mixture of precipitation. Now, that could be sleet, that could be freezing rainfall, but notice at this time, let me back this up just a little bit, this is where we start to see the potential of more problems coming through right about rush hour on Friday, and that's going to be at the tail end of a day that may have a lot of winter weather with it. And right in this area here, northern Alabama through northern Georgia, we could be seeing some very slick conditions, basically south of the Tennessee line, and that is where we could see the potential of some slick conditions out there into Friday evening. This does, as of right now, again, this is still very preliminary. Timing, amounts of what we're going to show you in just a little bit, amounts of snow and whatever else. But as of right now, we're going to be looking at breezy conditions, possibility of all modes of precipitation. North of the Tennessee line, probably just snow showers again for right now, and then the potential of maybe some mixtures of precipitation as well. So we're going to run this forward by just a little bit more and show you that most of the snow should be gone by Saturday morning, but there still will be the potential of some of that stuff sticking around. Now, let's get into, again, timing that out and what we may be looking for. Thursday night, Thursday morning, Thursday evening, not that much going on, but it starts back to the west of us. Then we get into pre-dawn hours of Friday morning, where the snow starts moving into this area. Blue indicates, again, the snowfall potential. Notice right down here, there is the potential of that orange area, showing, again, potential of sleet coming in around the Red River Valley and back into areas of the Arklatex, southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. That's going to be aiming as we go into the rest of Friday, the potential of more problems causing slowdowns out there, a good possibility as well. So going forward, let's head to about lunchtime on Friday, and the snow starts to really overspread the area. The heaviest snowfall in the coldest area, that is where we're shaping up again from the Red River Valley through the Mississippi. This is where, again, Friday lunchtime could be looking at some slowdowns from just outside of our area and over again to the west. Then we get into about, let's say, midnight Saturday. There are signs, and again, keep these numbers, when you take a look at these numbers, take them with a ginormous grain of salt, because this far out on amounts, we can tell general trends, but when it comes to specific amounts, getting closer to the date is going to be much better for us. So it does look like parts of the area in these purple shaded locations could be looking at the potential of very heavy snowfall. North Mississippi, central Arkansas, northern parts of Alabama, and that includes from Tishomingo to Huntsville, and possibly in pockets in the higher elevations of northern Georgia. We could be looking at around portions of the area coming up with about 8 to 12 inches of snowfall. So this, again, preliminary, but it is possible that we could be winding up with a decent amount. Now, what I'm more concerned about is going on in this orange hazy area right here. All it's going to take is, again, just enough moisture and the freezing line to go just far enough south to set up the possibility of freezing rain, sleet, snow mixture. And again, that from southern Arkansas all the way back to the Atlanta Metroplex. Once again, Atlanta kind of walking the edge of what could be a major winter weather situation. I'm not going to call it a snowpocalypse or anything like that, because as of right now, that's overblowing. That's hyping a situation. This is not hyping a situation. This is giving you what we see the models capable of doing. These right now are one of the computer models that are a little bit more liberal in their forecasting ability to be able to show the maximum amount of what we're going to be expecting. So this right here is one of the worst scenarios that we can present to you. Most of what we're seeing here, again, around Tennessee, North Alabama, North Georgia, will be mainly snowfall, but it's not going to take much for this area here of freezing rain and or sleet to wobble back and forth, and that, again, could cause some problems right on through Chattanooga, Hamilton County. We do not see anything major just yet, but again, this potential here is what we're looking at, what I'm concerned with, and what you should be paying attention to. If you have travel plans, and again, we're talking from Friday morning around dawn patrol, increasing amounts of snow as we go into Friday evening, and then as we go into Saturday, everything is pretty much all over with. But even with this being the worst of the worst scenario, this does say that we have the potential of a major winter storm coming through this area. So we are going to have to watch out for this potential. Keep in mind also that this is not the end-all situation. If that low pressure area down to the south that is causing all of this deepens, gets a little stronger, throws even more moisture up this direction, this could be a lower end possibility of a solution where it comes to anything involving potential problems for snowfall. So this right here is what it looks like right now on Tuesday evening. By tomorrow night, and especially by Thursday night, we're going to have a much closer look, a much better idea as to what may be heading in, and that is something that really needs to be paid attention to. Coming in on the local level, again, toward noon on Friday, could be the potential of some slick conditions out there with everything coming down in the way of snowfall for the most part. Friday evening, again, that's where we get plenty more snowfall, and some of that will continue in those darker areas, including northwest Georgia, parts of Jackson and DeKalb counties in Alabama, and then also again back into around southern middle Tennessee. If this winds up being a snowmaker, this is going to be great for the environment. We need more moisture to soak into the ground because we were very dry last year. So this is great makeup moisture from last year. Hopefully will help us in the way of precipitation for this year, so we're not quite as dry. But then we're looking again at the potential of travel headaches from Friday into Saturday. The snow is going to be sticking around, and when you see the temperatures in just a little bit, you're going to understand why we're talking about that. And that again is where we see the potential of some more problems coming through. Now for right now, and I can't believe I got rid of my graphic. Give me 2 shakes here to take a look at. Here we go. For right now, again, what we're seeing is the potential of anything involving winter weather, mainly back to our west. We're looking again at the closest to us in the way of winter advisories tonight, at least. A winter storm watch is in effect for the mid-south, central Arkansas, northern Louisiana, and northeast Texas. You don't see that too often, but for right now it comes to about Hardin County, Tennessee, back into western Tennessee, right up against the Tennessee River, right back around the Shiloh area. Usually when I was back in the mid-south area working at my last station, Hardin County was kind of the bellwether. When they close down schools, that's a good possibility that everybody is going to be closing down relatively soon around that portion of Tennessee, because rural territory, even into North Mississippi, that's a lot of territory for the school buses to go on, and on icy roads, that is not where you want your students to be. That's going to be the problem as we go into the next couple of days. So that winter storm watch, that again is something we're going to have to really continue to watch at this point in time. Now we do have again the potential for some very chilly conditions into tomorrow morning, and that is also something that we're going to be watching very carefully. Low temperatures tonight, going to be very much on the chilly side, back into the 20s, and by early tomorrow morning, it's a good possibility, right about the time the kids are heading to school, we could be looking at temperatures in the teens, wind chill temperatures, not air temperatures, lower teens to higher single digits. That's the wind chill. So that's something to be prepared for as we go into tomorrow morning, which means that if you're planning on getting the kids to the bus stop in the morning, there's going to be a lot of problems out there with waiting around in a jacket. This right here is the website I wanted to tell you about earlier. Again, keep it tuned to News 12 for closings and delays at wdef.com/weather. It's going to be frosty in the morning and a little breezy, so wind chills will be down, teens, 20s, lower single digits. Not much better for the walk or the bike ride or the bus home, as we got temperatures there back into the high 30s tomorrow about the time the kids get out of school, so something else to consider. Add to that, if you are heading out the door to walk the pupper, you're going to need to bundle up because temperatures pre-dawn hours lower to mid-20s around portions of the viewing area. Thanks to News 12 viewers Rose and George Schock from Cleveland for a view of Annabelle the pupper out on the porch after taking a walk around the block. If you're a business and would like to get your logo on here, please contact our sales department, wdef.com/advertise, and talk to our sales staff about what we can do to get your logo on there. And I think for right now that mainly what we're looking at is going to be a very hot cup of Java. Again, exclusive morning cough bev temp decks. Your coffee, your hot chocolate, your beverage of choice, your temperature of choice. Remember that coffee/beverage may be hot, so be careful before ingesting. Again, that's a standard disclaimer, but nowhere close to getting an ice cold coffee anytime soon from what it looks like. So hopefully some good news there, get you warmed up by just a little bit. Thanks a lot to News 12 viewer Diane Ellis from Hickson, Tennessee for a view of the Hummingbird, stopping by for a nosh. That's our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. And if you've got pictures, please send them in to us by email, drop them to our social media pages, or go to the main website at wdef.com/photos to both turn yours in and see what everybody else is submitting for the Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. Again, a lot can change in about the next 48 hours before this storm system rolls on through. So for tomorrow, and for that matter Thursday, you should be okay on the temperatures. Outdoors tomorrow, temperatures back in the mid to upper 30s. Winds occasionally breezy, but not expecting too much of a problem. And that also includes, again, for heading out on the golf course, temperatures will be chilly. Hopefully not too crowded on the courses out there tomorrow, but this is a little brisk for me getting out and about for anything involving outdoor activities. And again, it's still nothing compared to what they got back to the north. When I talked to my mom earlier tonight in Topeka, Kansas, she wound up with 17 inches of snow on her garage area, back door, and as of right now, got a very nice sheen of ice on some of these roadways. They're treating it, but it is taking a little bit. But this is what that last storm system did, causing all sorts of concerns back up around portions of Kansas City. The plaza lit up quite nicely. This is what it looks like on Thanksgiving night in Kansas City, usually crowded with several thousand people. Brush Creek might be flooded or frozen over down into the Country Club Plaza area, but tons of snowfall. You can see all that plowed over, several inches worth on the banks of Brush Creek and on the rooftops and on the parking garages. The skies are clearing out, so temperatures around KC Mo are going to be back, and Kansas City, Kansas, for that matter, are going to be quite chilly tonight, even below zero in numerous locations. Here, we're not doing too bad. The view from the aquarium cam, Chattanooga weather webcam, hardly anybody out and about tonight on Aquarium Way, and looking back across Market Street, a few folks out and about, but otherwise not doing too bad for this evening, and going to continue again for some quiet, dry conditions for the time being. Thanks to Tom Benson of the Tennessee Aquarium, who told me that the temperature inside Penguin Rock is a steady 42 degrees. Well, in a couple of days, that's going to be feeling rather like a tropical blast, considering where we are right now on those temperatures out there, as we see again the potential for some more problems out across the region where the temperatures are concerned. Here's what it looks like for the 7-day forecast. And again, for right now, the next couple of days, not that much really to be worried about. So we should be fairly quiet overall into the next day or two. However, that being said, there is a possibility that we could be seeing the potential for some more problems with, again, the potential of more rain and snow out there. That'll be starting up again as we go into the next early morning hours of Friday. So for Wednesday and Thursday, chilly, dry, sunny, doesn't look to be a major situation until we get into around sunrise Friday morning. And high temperatures on Friday expected only to be into the lower to mid 30s, maybe, possibly, just maybe getting above freezing for a little bit. Check out the forecast, the 7-day forecast down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen if you want to see the 7-day, and you can check that out at any point in time at wdef.com/weather. Now, through that, again, everything tapers off Friday night and Saturday. We might get above freezing again briefly on Saturday. Depends on how much snow we get. Once snow gets over about 4 inches in depth, that's where the snow starts to act as its own refrigeration system. And unless we get some powerfully warm weather in here above normal temperatures to melt that stuff off, it's a good possibility that snow will continue through Saturday. The other thing I'm worried about is that what melts on Saturday will flash freeze on Saturday night into Sunday morning as we bottom out in the teens once again. So whatever we get here will be sticking around for a day or two, and that could mean some slick travel across parts of the area. So this bears watching. Definitely want to stay tuned for, again, what is going on with the forecast, and know that there's going to be a lot of changes coming up in the semi-near future. So definitely want to pay attention to that as we go through the next couple of days. We'll help you figure that out, and again, keep it tuned to News 12 for the latest on there. I think that should pretty much wrap it up for tonight, so we're going to go ahead and throw it back to your regular programming, even though we've only been on for about 20 minutes or so. So for right now, nothing expected until Friday morning, but that is where we start to see the potential problems coming into the area, and that is where we see the potential for slick conditions. Could be dangerous, maybe hazardous conditions out there. It really just all depends for right now. This bears watching, because the forecast tonight will not be the same as it will be in 48 hours toward Thursday night. So keeping up to date on those changes through the next couple of days is imperative, and please make certain that you are ready to go with travel plans. If you have travel plans and it involves going through that area of snow or down toward Atlanta or Birmingham with ice possibility, be flexible. Be able to keep up to date with what's going on with the weather. If you are going someplace, if you can get there early ahead of the storm, that might not be a bad idea. Waiting several days until afterwards. And we've all seen what happens when Atlanta gets hit with major amounts of winter weather, and it is not pretty. So what you do ahead of time, this is going to be one of your best things to make certain you know what to do before it happens, because traveling right in the middle of anything involving winter weather might get you stuck on the side of the roadways awaiting a tow, and that could take hours, if not days. So that is really something to consider at this point, your plans in the next few days. And again, please be flexible. Again, is a good opportunity to make certain you plan ahead what is going on. Get your car ready to go, full tank of gas, tires ready and in good shape. Make certain that you have blankets, some non-perishable food, like food bars and things like that will not have to be replaced or get frozen. Something that you can nosh on if you're stuck in your car someplace. Make certain that you have change of clothes. You have something to warm you up. Some of those hot pockets that you can break and stay warm. Again, keep those in your car. Keep them in the passenger compartment of your car, because if you can't get out of your passenger compartment to get out and get them out of the trunk, there's no point having them in the first place. So keep them in your car's interior cockpit area. Again, driving on ice, one of the most challenging things you can ever do. And I've driven on some pretty nasty conditions back in Kansas and around Fort Smith, Arkansas. Kansas is where I learned to drive in winter weather. And if you've never driven on it before, it's a lot more difficult than you think. If you haven't really tested yourself in winter weather, you really need to be prepared for it by trying and practicing during that type of weather. But again, traveling in weather like this will not be a good idea. So next couple of days, very much time to make certain you're ahead of the game and make certain that you are taking care of yourself and know what is coming your direction. So please use this opportunity between now and the storm's arrival to get ready, stay prepared, and stay up to date. This is a time, if there was a time, this is a time to be weather aware on the situation. All right, that should do it for tonight. I'll have more coming up on News 12 at 11. Chip Chapman's got your forecast bright and early in the morning, so stay tuned for that. And, of course, updates through the next couple of days on this developing possible strong winter storm moving through this area of the country. Live and direct, Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick from the WDEF News 12 studios in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Stay tuned for more with News 12. We'll keep you updated and safe in the course of the next few days. And above all, remember, let's be